Ma lo lava so fu manguia lo fionga savea fatalo fatu pa ia man malu le tunu fa fonga mai lingi afiafi ia fa tai mo lava noa ta upu ta ua nge ule life insurance fa tai lava.
Ia, malo, whaatai, ia, o ha mai, ia lau sunga. Ia le
Oi,
tulanga le
manguia
sefua
fa tai
malolo.
a savea fa isinga malulu fa inga yaso
Ia,
a.
oe, wai vai mai. E
O
tolu
le
o
se kimu
fundo.
ai malulu ai kau malulu mai kau so ia nga umanga fai mako fiunyo le oki mako ainga ngai
Talo
i
fai,
nganu
ia.
kau kalo fai ai
Ia.
mai mauli o langa young boy
I.
only young 20 years old 24 and yeah le ve fa fusei so kalo
Talo
fai
fai.
we're there to honor and respect the family my cousin or the grandson lo kasenge so lo
Oh,
kasenge first cousin or a grandson so
talo
big
fai.
family that family so yeah just got back not long ago facing a pisilia wala
Oh,
and
ia, malo.
just got
Awatu
back
ia.
and just in time for
Ia.
tight
Wha mawhan whananga fo ia ma wha mai senga. I le lau sunga, ia, wha pia fo i le ainga. Ai mise ia lau cousin. Ia, ma
yes
o
okay
ainga
tight
ma wo mai masari paolo mangafa.
ah
O na o le wala aua le atua e wha fo se i wal mena e le pule sisi
yeah
a pule i le atua. O na whaiva ia na o ia na te whaia. Au mai ma toi
really
ave ese. Ia, ma lo
ali
whaftai i ngā ruenga fo i o lo o whaatino pea ma le tā la langa e tau mawhai na ia fautua i tangata whaatino ia le tūlanga life insurance ia
yes
o na whapenale o na mauti noa o lo o pui puia. Ai o lea tā se i le tā whesiri mō mua lea o lea le tā ua tele o le whaso tai atu o tangata i lau sunga mat Nei lo o le o lava o i la tau fo i lea whafso tai company insure ia ma whapena ma whai la tau whiutanga inga. So what's the most important, why it's significant and advantage for you to talk to them first?
Yes, ma ngai fasili severe. First and foremost, a lot disclaimer statement, disclaimer. The information only, high level information, let's say advice. Vini mai au, and then we can fasoka a meeting. I can go through my full advice process. But today, ngale information. So, what is the advantage of my service? O mai ka ngaka ia'u as opposed to going to the bank.
Ia.
But if you go to the bank, o ngale bank, areke bank, or you can only use them, for example, ASB or ANZ, and their insurance company, ngale kasi ale insurance company, mawhainga whao ngale bank. So, ale kaulia lo cover the bank. For my bank, sorry, o ke le fwinga
risky,
singase
tele,
o le under control o suka lo diabetes o mamafa kele o makua kele lo age then would defer le cover o langa winga o le mawhainga cover oe you have to wait so if it's like that mawari kongunga then yeah we'll stuck oe o le mawhainga alo oe to you can't ask that person to go and try another insurance company because ngale kasi al insurance company fa ngale bank
Mari.
like ASB or the AIA insurance fa nga ai alu le ANZ or le Chubb ai alu le Westpac or Fidelity so only one company aulo service o my advantage o service it's aua because I can go to all the main 5 insurance companies ale kaulia le company le ke alu this company le try this company le ai ale kaulia ai alu foi try this company le so I have 5 insurance companies
Right.
o le Chubb Life, AIA, Partners Life, Astron, Fidelity. So o le advantage ngā lo services, I can try all of them for you. Lesi me foi, I can also do all the work for you. So e PCA o ilonga luenga, at home, I can do everything for you. And then ke laku lo fale in the evening or the daytime, e puli a oe what time me avangoe oe. Ai alu le bank, ia ele mawhainga laku se si le bank lo fale i le afiafi.
Money.
You have to go to them during the banking hours. So that's my flexible advantage for you. I often ayo clients i okilangi le afiafi, le kaiao, le askongai, le ule le asusa, pe aku ule loku. So I'm flexible for penga. I work for the customer. Let's me for a free little service. I don't charge any money. It's free. When I come and see my customers, They make me ipuki, Maria, and then I talk to them, and we're still talking. I don't send them an invoice like the lawyers and some accountants do. No, free service. I work
Malo.
for the customer for their best interest. So, yeah, if tawa. So that's the reason why sili aku lau service to use me for all those reasons there.
Malo.
So yes, very good.
Ta ua tele mo nai o tātou tangata i o lo whalongorongo mai. Lono winga se whai le taimi ia ma e malama fo i launga ngana e tele tau tu ua le whale. Nā lo tango o telefoni, piki i longa, vili loa ma le sunga a matalua tua i le o lua fitu, valu tolu wiva, tasi fitu, tasi wha, o le naitou te tanga i msilsilane i ai. I longa o lau screen, o lo i ailu numera a le sunga a mat, e mwhainu so sani ma fautua ina oe, e tu sai fo i male mata upule nei, o le life insurance.
Yes.
Se i wha matala masau noa mai ati, o le ale process a toa lava e whaatu langa i le mata upule masalo se vaianga mua le amatanga. Sau noa e vaianga.
Yes. Look, e whisili o le process. O isi ka ngaka e mga umia le quote straight away. E mga umia le fast quote. E mawhai nga wakule quote. But for the process, ele se me vave, done one meeting uma le ai. We have to follow the strict o le ongo steps, 6-step process, because the big whamasingo, the Financial Markets Authority, kangula ko si akima ko work, if we do shortcuts and whaavave the process, sala. So we have to follow the 6-step process. So the first step, vili me kangaka au. Kala ngoi au for my met, kamun mone lava ke mga umia say life insurance, and my fingers so over ayau. And I say, yeah, okay. And then book the appointment. That's the first step. Yeah. La kulua u book the appointment. Let's say if I get over I customer kai au. Tomorrow the office full the afternoon. Then I go and see them, and then I find out more. Okay. O le ale mea mga wai customer there, do they want a new life insurance? Or do they want a medical insurance? Or do they have a life insurance already and mga mea compare? So I have to find out what's the purpose of the meeting.
Yeah.
And then once I find out, ke lo ngofia mga mea customer le mea, then I fill out all the information. So the name, as whangau, galuenga, whimeke whangaluenga, pe pingwhiki, ngase. So I asked him all these questions, and then I go back, and then I do my report, and I masangi whaia the customer, okay. It might take 1 week, sometimes 2 weeks, go for to do the report. So then I start my report, all the quotes, my quote from this company, that company, this company, umarola report, umarola quote. Go vile ku the client, okay, I'm ready for second meeting now. Yeah, lakulo next week, I had a customer for the second meeting. Well, in meeting, I go through what we call a statement of advice or report, where I show them everything on there is taua. On the amount of the life insurance, I found makala or le ali wing the life insurance, or le ali wing the mele le income protection, or the mokesi protection, or the medical insurance. And then after I found makala everything to the client, and then it got the price. Because makauli for the price is the one for the client. That's the main one they are waiting for. If he go. And so then when I give the price, I give the main full comprehensive price more. And then if you feel the client, listen me, I can then trim it down and tailor down the price Fale kikit until it fits the purpose, fits the price, the budget, and then for my little clients, okay, we can afford that one now. That one's better for us. And then I ask all the facilities on the application. And I very taua, I tell them from Mule, please, whalongo mai de facility, please, kala mo emailo locali, please tell the truth for full disclosure. Because elea ngā pepelo, because otherwise if you pepelo, then e kaulia lo policy straight away, fast. But then Lord gave me a claim oi, bea kupus wharawalawe. then that's when the insurance company really straight you for mai and check the notes,
Yeah.
and then they check the application le nga officially kuya oingi. And if they find you had all these ngase mai ai fa mai ole ai on the application,
Yeah.
then yeah, ka lo fai ke o fale kong wele claim, then you might not get any money. So I tell them it's very taua, please answer honestly to the facilities. And then after that, we put it through, submit the application straight through to the insurance company.
Yeah.
Tiki out the insurance company that's best suited for them. So I show them what the prices are of those five. And then I pick the best companies, best fit for them. And then we just wait for the insurance company to make a call. It might take kasit vai aso, is gave me a lua vai aso pe a kolma singale fa kalia, because sometimes they want the doctor's notes, they want the client to go get a blood test, to do all these build exams. So sometimes if I sing a level fa kali before we get a gong.
Yeah.
And then mawalor gong, kalo sia it's approved. It's approved. And then they do the final price. So yeah, all the process nga in a nutshell, Savia, of the 6-step advice process that I take my customer through.
Malu, so you don't take it lightly. For
Yeah.
lele mase vaenga e manatu mamae because toi fo I uma me a me nei. E tu sai malau fa tal noanga o tangata le mana o faile
Yeah.
le life insurance. O le ala le ese senga o le life insurance ya male mele o ta o le funeral insurance.
Yes, ma, el facility. So let's say singa insurance here. Ole life insurance mumua is more of a bigger comprehensive cover. E pui pui lo o langa in case something happens like today, I le funeral nga walway ngai lo I le grandson o kasing. So if you pass away, Malu, so say anything that causes death, accident, Malu, fa fosit ka vale, pole mai, fa sioki o kangaka, anything is all covered. It's all covered. Pawal mele cover for the first year o le pule le olanga.
Oh, okay.
So the first year, suicide, ele se cover. Alu e ka whao Samoa o ise kumu u Amerika o Skalia, kupulo se wharawarawe o is covered. So they will pay for your body to come back on the plane. Usually e lusfulu afe ka la o le kaul menga if you don't have life insurance. So it's very gonga to bring the body back. So all of that, life insurance is pui o langa pay out the family. So ele ki ngā inga le ainga e kokongi funerals, pay off the ekalafus, ai se mo kesi, pay the mo kesi. So life insurance is very taua to cover all those ekalafus. Otherwise, ki ngā inga ka kua inga if we don't have life insurance and we pass away. Funeral insurance, o le wingo le cover lea, only covers the funeral, pauanga. Nothing else. It doesn't pay your mokesi off. It doesn't pay your kavale loans. Nothing. Ngale funeral. And most of the time, it can cover limafe, sfuluafe. Nowadays, e alulunga le kolu sfuluafe is the maximum for funeral cover.
Right.
So the insurance companies are doing a bigger cover for funeral insurance. The only thing with funeral insurance, if my clients are makuakele, if they're over 75 years old or too late for life insurance, then we do the funeral insurance because they're automatic. They're covered straight away. Let's say medical criteria required. Bawal made funeral insurance. When you first maka the funeral insurance and then you start kokongi the insurance, the first 2 years, e lukau sanga mumua, e le se kupe maua. That's the only thing. So if you take funeral insurance today and you pay tomorrow, the first 2 years kupus falavalave ya oe, ele se kupe mawalo ainga. Because you have to survive luakau sanga mumua 2 years, then they cover you for the money. So the only thing they do is refund lo kupe. So if you pass away within the first 2 years, ele mawale ele 20,000, but
Refund my payments
refund mailo payments. That's the only thing. So it's okay, but I try life insurance first. Ale kaulia, then funeral insurance ole for ngale ole last resort. If it's not approved. So yeah, so that's the difference. Is between the two, life insurance, male funeral insurance.
Ia, malo whaftai ese le tā wotele, na ia mawhai ona tu ese mai loa le tangata le ese ngo me ia lua, le life insurance ia whapena foi ia pa o le funeral insurance. Ai se e tā ua I tele le iai o sau se wili ia po sau mavaenga. Ia le upu na mavaenga wai lo le vai ina o a seta po a ni mea tō tino foi le o lo iai a te oe.
Yes, e veu tā ua. Pe umanga le tolus fulu pasenge ngusila, ngaka ngusila le will, le mavaenga. Only about 30%. So that means o kele ka ko ngaka I kungu ngai le se will, le se mavaenga. So it's a ua because our Fale life insurance I am a liur kangaka. Then it has to go through the whamasingo. It has to go through the probate. So you have to wait. So ele mawar kupe straight away. May se apa ingi assets like if you have a fale, rental properties, things like that. It all gets frozen in the whamasingo, in the court, because it's a long wait period. Well, si finger she had to wait for 2 years. Lua kau sanga, and then pay out lolele life insurance from the company. That's a long time to wait. Oh, we're living a Fale funeral. And so a will is very taua to make sure that kupus whalawalawe your loved ones. A very process of paimengi. The good thing about the insurance companies for life insurance, they will pay out straight away le funeral amount usually is fully mafe. They usually, once you show the death certificate from the formai, they will pay it out in 24 hours. So evave. So evave they pay out for the funeral amount. But the rest of the coupe, you still have to wait, for that one to be paid out. But at least Fale mavaenga. Evave ele process. Ele umikere fakali for the rest of the money. And so that's very important to have a will. Especially if your kamekis, you leave your children behind, and it was only you that's the owner on the policy of the life insurance. Yeah, very tawa to have a will. Otherwise, the whamasingo can say, okay, we can give some of the kupe to the brother-in-law, lo kasenge, lo auntie. Yeah, what about the children? So, it's good to protect your kameki by having a will in place. If something happens to you, say, and you're not here anymore. So, yeah, very important to have a will.
Malo. Awa, ole vaenga whalanda le whai o se mbawaenga. Ia, e tā wotele le iai fo i o se whautuanga whale tūla whono. Ia. Wal me whalanda le leona to probate courts and stuff like that. Ole le criteria mo le life insurance. O a tūlanga o vaenga tā wotele mo life insurance.
Malu. So life insurance, also quickly, I forgot to say, your children, okameki, they're automatically covered under your policy, the parents. So if you, the makua, the parents have a life insurance and you have children living at home, dependents under 21, you cover automatic o whangau. But once you get over sfulu o kausanga, you can take your own life insurance for you. Especially if you got some money coming in, you got money, you can pay for it. And so the criteria for life insurance, about over the age and usually under 75, because over 75 years old, we're too late for the life cover. And that's when you have to go to funeral insurance. And so the criteria, make sure that obviously don't leave it too long. Because and then after that you decide about let's go see if I can get some life insurance now. Might be too late because you might have within the insurance company might say or too high risk. So better to get it early, life insurance while you're younger. Because you're younger half yar kingo fit ma losit kingo ngase your training. So that's the best time to look at getting life insurance because the criteria is easier when you are younger. It might be too late. Too late to get it because we'll get it diabetes and sukumaulunga and all the other ngase Mafa for ula, so it's too hard. If you're a smoker, it's a bit more gonga. Life insurance
Yeah.
kung ufie pe a non-smoker. So le kula fongo for smoker, if you quit smoking, I kore kaskau sanga will stop. Then the insurance company will review your life insurance policy for paulalo kau. It's about half price, 50%. Paulalo
Right. Right.
the premium of the life insurance if you stop smoking, for 1 year. And so yeah, so that's the main criteria for life insurance. Sixengi, obviously, you have to be sixengi of your ekungu. Get it while you're young. And fakali, until you're older, because if to get the life insurance. And remember, life insurance only pays out for funeral, Malu.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the main purpose of life insurance. Yeah, it helps the ainga with, the aikalafu's paying the funeral, paying the mortgage, paying all the bills, and aikalafu and leave some money for the ainga. So, me ka ua ngale life insurance.
Ia, malo, whaatai tāua I le whaafonfonga le atunu, nisi mata upu e fia talano ina ma wha malama atili, o le sunga ya matal nai il telefoni lunga le tātou screen, o lua fitu valu tolu iwa, o tasi fitu tasi wha, toi whaafonga lumbera na, o lua fitu valu tolu iwa, tasi fitu tasi wha. Matt, thank you so much, my brother, for spending time with me and discussing and also sharing these important issues with our people. Ja, upu mulmuli mai lau sunga, Matt.
Taila sa vea I mole atu whaftai ma wha mālolo tō pa ia, man malu sa mo tō whafonga lo po kalame lenia so. Mālolo whaftai, mālolo nsai, mālolo tapuai, wha manuele atua, tūte ma whaiva lenia so. Yeah, so I fua, whai next week sa vea.
Whaftai, we'll see you next week. Manuele, vai aso ia ma le weekend, fo ia mua, whaasi fua.
Asi fua.
Ia, le nao, tāwalunga tueli tanloanga fo ima le sunga. Ia, Matt, lua tua, the insurance man, o le telefoni na le sunga, ia Matt, o le valu, o lua fitu, valu tolu iwa, tasi fitu, tasi wha. Ia, leo wawai atu, ia o se e mai fo ima le sao le sunga ia Thomas. Ia, le ngang fifia le nau to e mo fo I le avandoa. So ta I tuai le li I kamuta. Ia, a wale wha mamla mai na fo I le tele o na fo I whaiva. O la ua whatino ma wha ngā yu I le tele o ngā ruenga. Whatalo whatu Thomas Malole se fumanuia. I hope you've had a wonderful start to the week. Always a pleasure, talking to you and sharing your experience and expertise about your field. Malole Soifua, welcome to the Malu I Fale this week.
Alofa Savia, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here again. Alofa to everyone listening in this afternoon, this evening. Yeah, I hope the information that we talk about today can help a lot of our people. Yeah, Malula Veteo Savia.
Yeah, malo fo I te oiluso, wa atu o malu mo taulangi fa mo sa manuia ia le taimita te le wheilo I. How has it been with a lot of, work in your hands and getting to meet people and, answering people's questions and how you've been so far?
Yeah, we have been extremely busy the last few months. There's been a few times where I was meant to be on the radio, but busy like Kikira. So it's great to be here. We're still busy today. We've got a lot going on in the background. I don't know if you can hear the saws and
yes
everything going on right now, and we're on site right now. So I'm doing it from my site office today. So very grateful to be in the position that we're in, even with the economic times. So it's always a good thing.
Has our program been instrumental in terms of reference and preferring people to you and the Blueprint company?
Yep, it's been really helpful. From our own people, especially in South Auckland, that have come through the program. that have been listening in and have been calling me at about 7 o'clock at night time.
Oh, that
Please
is.
call between the hours of 7:30 a.m. and 5 p.m. because after that I have my daughter at nighttime.
Talo fai. Man, you tell it, I mean, I'm excited about that with having a lot of people referred to your service and being able to catch up with them. You know, well, ngā fo I lea mea. E tala loa I nei o tātou ta māmtina mātutua. Tō tele fo I lātou wa malolo retire mai ngā ruenga. Wa ia I o lātou penfiti. Ia mese fo I nei o lātou se leni sa whapele mateu. Ia, o mana o loe whai ia seisi suinga I le fale. Ia polisi me whapipi ia mānei e le vai. Ia mau tau tala noa I fo I ma whasoa. With your experience in the building industry, awa pia o la e luatu o la whaatino seisi ngā ruenga. E ia tau ele I mawhauwhauina o le a toi whao popo I lunga o le tau, the original cost of the job. Now, what are some of these possible costs that, you know, they're pretty much unpredictable?
This is a big topic, especially in the industry, especially in construction, because we try our very best we have two words that I like to use. I like to try and minimize or I get rid of any extra costs that come up. But in the instance where unforeseen, number one is always through either vector or with water care. Those are the ones that there's only sort of like estimates online that we can get from them, but it's always unforeseen costs that we don't know. So they calculate another one is Auckland Council. Right. We call it the big A or the big Auckland Council because we never know. There's on their website, if I may, for estimations, ilunga websites, fees when they're assessing your application, or any other cost for when you put another fale on your section, for example, dwelling or add another house onto your section. There's what we call a development contribution. And no one really knows how calculating a council. So those are things where we always tell mako clients, when you have a pakeki, you always got to think about what is everyone else's money that comes out of your budget first. Like, for example, consultants, everyone involved, engineer, architect, council, water care, vector, all of the big boys that are out there, that money gone already from your budget. Whatever's left over in that budget, that's what you're using to build. So, and you always got to think about that. So, and another unforeseen as well is a big one, which we had in one of our projects recently as well. Emele, we're doing a house for. It's always in the ground. Sometimes, even with all of the testing that we do with the geotech or kamalera engineer where it tests the soil condition and he does what we call pothole testing. It'll dig my holes around to see basic contaminated soil, or if the soil we need to dig down a certain depth. Once we start the excavation, we don't know how much is going to come out sometimes. We can only sort of gauge. But our le consultant le geotech engineer le digging. Deeper than what we allowed for. So it's always in the whaabai is where we have all the extra costs.
Right.
Or the unforeseen costs.
Malu, whaptai, tā ua le whawhongwhonga mai nei o tātou mātua. Ai mai se lātou o lae me fua e whaini ngā ruenga whapopo i o lātou whale. O te loa o oe o seri in a lele ka muta e mita tele lau ngā ruenga ia po ole tala whaasolopito foi. You're a very proud man because of the work and the profession and the field that you lead. O la ale mea la iona tā ua tele pe a fia whailo se ngā luenga ma wala au atu ma whao ngā i lau company o le Builders Blueprint New Zealand.
Taylor of Silly, I think that's a great question, Savia. The reason why a lot of people call us and talk to us about doing Ilakonga Luenga is because all of the people that have come through, not only through the Kalame, but also through referrals. For us, we are recommended by people, so that's where the trust is for us, because we don't really do marketing. All of the work, like I said, all of the work that I've had over the years has always been through word of mouth. So refer akwa we isimi ya Sione, from Sione to Aperila, from Aperila to the next person, and to Sarah, yeah, Masifinela down the road. It's always been through like that. And we've built this business based on referral. So you can tell that our business is built on, number one, we are accredited, we are professional in what we do, we are licensed, and we are also qualified to do what we do. And also, the other big one is we don't do whaimepepele. We're not cowboys in the game. So we like to make sure that our people, our Pacifica people, are well looked after, because this industry, well, the building industry is a shark industry. Especially ngayo kako makua, they come in and they tell them beautiful things with their beautiful brochures, and then they take you for a ride, and then they take your money, and then they leave. And that's the reason why is for this reason. If we are so that I can explain it to them in our own language, what it takes to build a house, and the real information, not the ones that you see with the fake information, the real information. If I tell you it's going to cost you this much to build your house, it's going to cost you this.
Malo, ta ua tele. Au whafonga mali tātou o tunu, nai te sila mai lunga le tātou a screen, olo ia le telefoni le nā le sunga, ia Thomas, ole o lua tasi, lima valu, tolu ono wha. Ta ua le nā olo wala au mwha mauna numera nā wauti. Loa o tau ta mamti nā mātua o retire, ia olo o iaina ia tau se leni olo o whaanganga mo ngā luenga whapea. Ia, mana ia lalo wala au i ele sunga ya Thomas numera nā, o lua tasi, lima valu, tolu ono wha. Ia, ai frozen mai lo ma Thomas, ua malulu, te lele pitola ia le sunga ya Thomas. Anyway, ia, ala atoe whatalitali atu se i toe ulu Fale mai, ia le tātou malo, i le malu i Fale. Au le tāua le nā Samoa, i lau tau sinsila mai, i alo matama whanau o le atunu, o lo o iai to mai whapitoa nei, o lo mawhai iai o na lātou whatino ngā luenga, ma tautua ia i tātou lewa ia. Ma whao ngā i dai fo i le tātou ngana Samoa, ma mala malama a tiri ai, o le fo uwha mai, o tama sao i ele un kaupoe i le ngā luenga, o le na winga le tala le nā, e lātou te le whia se me tau valea ai, ia le ngō Samoa, ia whapena fo i o tātou tangata. Ai mai so le pisinisi ma le company o lo lātou ngā rurue ai. Ia, on sai mai pēr, o tātou tālia le toi ulu Fale mai o le tātou malo, ai tango e vane lau peni. Ia, ma wha mauaile numera le nā le o lua tasi, lima valu, tolu ono wham. A o whaatali la ia le sunga a Thomas e toi ulu Fale mai le tātou pulakalame. A vea fōne nei awanoa e whaatalo whaatuai i ta mamtina mātua o le atunu. Ia maise fōi o le au whainga luenga tutofi i tawha e fia. Ai maise, ia, i la tō fōi o le o asia i tātou le nei vai teimi o le tausanga. Ai au mai ere keimi kau malulu. Ia ono sa i la ia. Langa wa e filifili i le tau malulu, ia le lawa sa ulu of tau i tonu la mal tau malulu. Okay, welcome back, Thomas.
Sorry for Malia to Severe. Someone kicked the Wi-Fi box outside the site just there, so my apologies to the listeners.
No worries, my brother. Ia, o le tatala noa nei le mafu anga e leo na, na tō tele tangata la tō te whaongaina le Builders Blueprint New Zealand ona o le whatuatuangia, ia whatuatuaina, ia ma whapena fōi o na whamaoni i le whatinoina o le ngā ruenga. La tō te le tauwaleaina ia lau ngā ruenga, ia ma whapena o na manatu na o le tupe, ia mao, ai matuale tau I lava e tu saima le ngā ruenga. Now, I know you take pride in your builders too and your people, professional people that you use. O le ale tu ai ngā whaamauninga e te loa ai o lo o iai fo'i la tau o lo o umbia ia whailonga, like master builders guarantee o le amatua mātango fie ma le lei o na whaatino le ngā ruenga tusa matula whono o le whausiena o se Fale.
Okay, I will touch on this today on the master builders or any other guarantees or organizations that they offer. So a lot of new build companies that they offer what we call a master builders guarantee. It's an organization based out of Wellingkonge, or the other one is based, I think, in Tauranga. I used to be a part of the New Zealand Certified Builders organization.
Right.
I am no longer part of this organization now, because lako guarantees it offer, but it's not necessarily the best. For example, if you read the fine print, Emele or Master Builders Guarantee, the banks like Master Builders Guarantee more for you and the families there you're building for. But Tupusemelo Fale, there's only a certain percentage of your full contract value it cover ele guarantee. So you're not necessarily going to get a full cover of your build if something happens.
Right.
So the difference between those organizations, now that I'm no longer part of it, I can be a part of it if I want to. It's just a fee that you pay. But the difference is with us and the guarantee that we offer, we have an insurance. Just like the previous man, he just finished with Matt, where he has insurances, we have the same. So the difference between their insurance and our insurance is if something happens, for example, while we're building your Fale, and say I had to go under or liquidate la company, my insurance will kick in and cover the full value of the build le kokoi. So it doesn't matter. You know, your house will be finished regardless lang ole insurance that I put in place. That's why it's important for when they're looking at building a house. Don't just look at the price of building your house from this closed mind lens. You need to look at the overall guarantee. What sort of insurance do they have in place? What sort of people do they have? Do they have qualified builders or licensed builders who are doing their work? Are all of the team that coming on board, are they all licensed as well and accredited as well? Those are all of the information that we offer you when we sit down with you. And that's the other reason why we don't really do quotations for people when they call me and they say, oh, I want a quote from you. Because a quote is just a number that you can just throw out there to anyone, because you're not doing a full in-depth process. Climb underneath the house, climb inside the roof, check the temperature or the moisture readings or Fale. You got to do a big job before you even start. So that's why we always say if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So that's why it's all in the preparation in the beginning. It's important, very important in the process.
And preferably, the client will ask you and say, look, Thomas, can you show me one of your work? And
that is actually part of my process, Savia. So before you build with me, I ask and I invite you to come along and see what we're doing. Right now, I'm actually meeting a family after this, after our show tonight at 5 o'clock. They're going to be here very, very soon. They also listen to us on the radio for you. So they're coming tonight to have a look at the houses we're building here. We're building 3 big houses here in Mangili. It's outside. The boys are still working.
Right.
And we also have renovation sites across Mangili and Otara as well. So depending on what you're doing, if you're doing a renovation, then I invite you to some of the renovations that we have currently happening. Or if you're looking to build a new house, I invite you to come have a look at the houses that we're building now as well. We're also not a subcontractor. We are a main contractor. We don't subcontract to someone else. We are the main contractor for our clients.
Right.
So if you want to see what we do, we manage the full process from the ground, all the way from
To the
digging, all the
rooftop.
way to handing over the key to you.
Right. Malo la vale ese le tā ua tele. Lai whalongolongo mai i le tō tele o tangata whaafitai fo i le nā whina ngā lo tā masolo o whaatu mawina i le nganga trust ma le whaatu tuaina ma whaamoe moe tangata i lau expertise e whaatino i whale. Awha pe o mai se ainga wha pe mai. We want to build a minor dwelling for le tuatu le mato whale. Ai mātou te le mana o extend le whale tele lea, the family home. O lea, ia se tasi o whautuanga e masani ona e tui nātu i ainga nei.
Taylor Silly, Sevilla. So we're currently in the process of I'm building 2 minor dwellings right now. One in Mangili, just around the corner from here as well. We're currently doing that right now, Masi Aingale I Henwood Road. And another family, we're taking them through the process right now in Otara, where they want to build a minor dwelling. So there's 2 questions I asked before we look into a minor dwelling. I asked them for number one is, why are you doing the minor dwelling? Because I want to understand what's the reason for you building a new house? Because even though you call it a minor dwelling, it's still a house. It's still another house detached from your house now. And then we look at your budget. Is the reason, do you think it's worth it for you to spend that money to build a whole nother house outside? Or is it better for us to extend your current house? Right? Another question that I ask as well is, sometimes people think, because lower pasi my government may build 70 square meters without consent, but that's not true. That hasn't been passed yet. But pasi maybe next year, or no one really knows yet. It's still up in the air right now. We only had the first reading, and so no one really knows the full information with that. But with the minor dwelling we're doing right now in Otara, we have to do the research first to see le size o le minor dwelling ke mga o fai I lunga lo section. If you look at the council, when you look at the unitary plan and you talk to a planner, they will tell you that you can only have a certain size or coverage on your section.
Right.
For example, you can only have, you have a house that's 120 square meter and you have a 600 square meter section. You can only cover a certain percentage now. So your minor dwelling might only be 20 or 30 square meters. You see? But we don't know that information until our makale process of talking to the designer, to our planner. These are consultants that we work with. And then they will tell us and they say, hey, Thomas, the family can only build 40 square meter lunga lako section. But sometimes they hear their uncle down the road who's a builder, or their neighbor who they spoke to and they had a wailima down the road. They said, I can build a square meter section. But those are not the people who have the piece of paper qualification that tell us the truth, you know?
Malo, ta ua tele, wano whanongo longo I le vai aso, se ma vai atu nei. O mai I telefou, fo lele I vai whanua. The Management Consultation Act,
that's right.
Tele lola po le ale bea le au o e wana, whato amata na lote le tula whano le na.
That's right.
I lau company, Builders Blueprint New Zealand, awha pea wa amata na whaise ngā luanga e te umana o le ainga. Ia mai ale la se la tau tangata whai ele tise po se tangata whai palama. E whao ngā ile teimi le whai lau ngā luanga. How does that sit with you in the manatu wala la inga e pa ua ile tau o le whale po le tau o le ngā luanga ato lea? O le ale, how do you work out with that kind of arrangement?
Okay, so Taylor Mofsili, this is another hot topic. Because in the past, when we spoke, I've always been very open to this idea of working with a family's palama or a family's electrician. And now the problem that I've faced since our last conversation to now, because my whole team, we come as a package. And my team, okay, kango vet lau team.
Right.
So I make sure that my team is number one, they're certified, they're able to do the work. Number two, the quality of lakungan winga. I've worked with my team for years.
Right.
You know, I've worked with my guys for over 10 years together. So I know that the quality that we offer together as a team is something that I can guarantee. Whereas if you recommend your electrician to me and I call your electrician tomorrow and I said to him, we have this program, we need to meet a mako inspection for council on this day. I need you to come down here. But if it's your electrician, he may say to me, oh, I'm busy today, I can't make it, I can only make it on this day. Whereas my electrician or my plumber, I call them today, they will be there tomorrow or that day. So you're not only paying for experience and a guarantee, you're also paying for a relationship that I have with my team.
Right.
You know, for example, if I'm a kanga sauli or black speaky, may sakama may mansa more to play on the team. You know, the team has their own people and they work well together. So when you work with us, I prefer not to. I prefer not to work with someone else that I can't guarantee the lakunga winga. Umay foi they might kauvalia for makunga winga at least you know, my reputation.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so to answer your question in short, I no longer do that. Now I just say to the client, look, if you want to work with us, this is the team that does the work for you, because I know that we can control it and we can guarantee our timelines. And also for the guarantee long term for the work. Because the last thing I need, I don't know Fale in about 2 years, because I don't know who did your work. Or, you know, it's your uncle or someone, or a plumber that didn't do a fitting properly, or and then we have to come back and fix it after 2 years, and it's always a bit of a mess for us. So I'd rather not at this stage.
All right. Well, it's good. Now I tell you, all of the city, yeah, therefore, I tell Tonu Tangata. I lau whatu tuanga I tangata ia tau te ngā lulue. Yeah, a guarantee, yeah, mai loai. Yeah, because you have the specs of the whole project, and these other people will understand the specifics of the job. Mama I fole tanu Meryl na Samoa I lungo le screen o sunga ya Thomas o le olu atasi lima valu tolu ono fa. Brother, I'm always proud speaking with you and, you know, trying to get inside your professionalism and your trade. And I'm proud that our people are using you and calling you, and you are also instrumental to you know, so se bele le in le fai. E mo le fia o tātou tangata. Ma tātou loa fo, tātou le fai ngā luenga. You walk away with being satisfied that others are happy with the work that you've done. Final words from you, my brother?
It is always a privilege for me to be on the show with you, especially that listen to the show. The whole vision and the heart behind my business is to help our people. So, you know, if you're looking for someone who's going to be honest and reliable and who'll tell you the truth, then give me a call. And I'm always here to help, or even have a conversation with some of the that ring me at 6 o'clock just to have a conversation. I'm always here.
Right.
And thank you very much again, Severe.
Five time, brother. The very best for the rest of the week and the weekend looming. Tato whenua I sisi taimi ai whāsoi whiua mole taimi nei.
Yeah, whāsoi
whiua. Numeral nā sunga ai leli I Kamuta Thomas ole all watasi lima valu tolu ono wha.